All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you in here to Montezuma Cortez High School, Cortez, Colorado, for this try-meet action tonight. We're going to witness the San Juan Broncos taking on both Cortez and Durango. Scheduled time to start, this was 5 p.m., but it looks like we're going to be a little bit long on time as we get some things figured out here at Montezuma Cortez High School. We welcome you into the broadcast tonight. Thanks for joining us. Be joined here shortly by the coach, the legend, the all-around stud, Anthony Bayless, as he's making his way to the headset. As we get ready to start this action, we'll talk about a few things that have happened last weekend. Of course, the Broncos attended the two-way duels. Also had a couple of Broncos invited to the All-Star matches at UVU up in Orem this last night. So we'll start here first off with, two-way duels as we welcome in Coach Anthony Bayless here. Two-way duels, your impression of the team?
I think we came out a little like we'd been on a break for a little while, but overall we did pretty good. We points wise we ended third, which is good. Something we can improve on, and something that I know the boys have said several times throughout the season. That's what they want to do. They want to beat a Beavs. Keep telling them, hey, keep working, keep getting better, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, you
get
up there, above 32. And you're definitely seeing a lot of upperclassmen when you're coming in as a freshman. But yeah, good job by those freshmen. Also, Declan's sick the first day, but then comes back the second day and goes 4-1. So, we'd like to see what would have happened if he would have been able to compete both days. But 4-1, pretty good. And then you've got, Karen goes 4-6, Lennox 5-5. You got Logan Keith 6-4. The highlight, I think, of this, and something that a couple of these kids, Parker Snyder 8-2, and then J.D. Palmer 9-1.
Yeah.
He only loses to Millard, who Tingy is a great wrestler. He's he's got a lot of skill sets, and he's just a way experienced wrestler. But J.D. comes out and goes 9-1, which I think if you're J.D. and you're the coaches there at 165, you're ecstatic. Now, you don't wrestle everyone at the two-way duels, all the teams, but you see most of them. And so I know Gunnison wasn't there. I know that there were some other things, don't see.
There was a couple of the smaller schools.
Grand wasn't there, I don't think. But to go 9-1, you've got to be excited about your chances, because that one kid that you lose to, Tingy, if another kid can step up and beat him somewhere in the quarter semis, and you have that option or you step up and beat him now that you're kind of know.
Well, and I think Tingy, wasn't he one of those all-stars that wrestled last night in the all-star duels?
I'm not sure. I don't remember for sure. I've got that.
But I could be wrong.
And then just to finish that off, Trace goes 8-2, which is good for Trace. A couple other guys, a lot of guys there wrestling. Taylor goes 7-3, and then you had a bunch of guys in the JV Utah Winter Classic tournament, and that's just great experience for those younger kids to get out there and be able to wrestle and get quality matches where they're not just going out and getting beat up.
Yeah,
and they're getting out there and getting experience. You got Marshall Gurley placed 5th, Coyer Johnson placed 3rd, Rias Blackhorse 2nd, Hunter Keith 2nd, Wrigley places 1st, Chance Laws 2nd, Thomas Harden 2nd, Porter Keith 2nd. So good stuff for those guys. It looks like we've had the coin toss here for the Montezuma Cortez Panthers versus your San Juan Broncos. So that will be your first duel. And then after that, we'll move right into the duel between the Durango Demons. Both these teams don't have full lineups. We're going to have some buys out there. Before we get started here, talk a little bit about the All-Stars. Taylor Black, or heavyweight, Chad Yellow, 113, both invited to wrestle on that to represent the 1A, 2A squad. 1A, 2A squad kind of took a beating up there. They only won 2 matches. Out of that thing, they kind of got some tough draws. Taylor, goes up against McNaughton from Emory. McNaughton's he's from Wasatch. He is the second in 5A state last year. He was 5th at the Rumble this last year. He wrestles folk style, freestyle. He was 2nd at the Beehive, 25-minute. I mean, just you're going up against kids that they wrestle day in and day out, and it's hard to compete when you're, Taylor's playing football. He's focused on that. These kids are playing football and wrestling. They have those clubs. And Chad goes up against Monty Christensen from Emory. He was also a state champ at 103 in the 3A last year. He wrestles a lot of freestyle, Greco, and Roman. So it looks like we're going to get ready for the national anthem here. So we're going to take a quick break while they do the national anthem, and we'll be back at Cortez High School. All right, we welcome you back in after that rousing rendition of the national anthem. I thought they had a few high school girls over there were going to sing it, but they ended up playing it a recorded version, but it was good nevertheless. Uh, Again, I'm Art Adair. We welcome you into Montezuma Cortez High School for this tri-action tonight between the Montezuma Cortez Panthers, the Durango Demons, and your San Juan Bronco wrestling team. Gonna do some introductions and some shaking of the hands here before we start between the Montezuma Cortez squad and the Broncos. I'd like to thank Lane Palmer for getting us set up and going here today, and pitcheratpalmer.com as we broadcast live here on StreamUtah.Live. You're going to have a little bit of a confusion here as, unfortunately, we talked about Chad goes up and wrestles in the All-Stars, and he comes back today, and he's a little overweight, so his match is going to be an exhibition match. So we get the wrestlers. Some of these freshmen aren't they haven't in junior high. You don't do this introduction stuff. You don't run out on the mat, shake hands with your opponent before the duel. You just go wrestle. So it's sometimes you got to get those freshmen a little introduced to how high school wrestling goes.
Yep, it's a learning curve.
We were cut off a little bit early from our comments about the All-Star. We talked about Chad getting invited and Taylor, and unfortunately both of them, they fall. Both lost their matches, but what an honor to be selected to those teams and to be able to represent your school and your squad and yourself in those events. And just super proud and excited for those guys. And, Chad's got one more year. Taylor, he'll leave us after this year, but excited to see how much Chad can grow the rest of this season and into next season, as he's one that, he's going to contend for a title this year, contend next year. And he's got a high ceiling, and he's just a great wrestler. And, the Broncos will miss Taylor next year at heavyweight. Hopefully we can bring some junior high kids in, or we can bump someone up a little bit in weight here.
Yes, it'd be nice.
Got a lot of big guys down there. Just got to get them out on the wrestling mat.
Yep. And there's a couple kids that, we've tried to get that are on the football team. We're like, man, it'd be good if you could come wrestle. We haven't convinced them yet. So
they just called Jared Burek. But that's okay, because I'm going to mispronounce a lot of names tonight for these squads. I'm trying to go off of Coach Simpson's writing, and I'm not a very good translator, so I may get some of these opponents' names wrong from Cortez and from Durango, trying to make sense of his writing there on the scorebook. But anyways, we welcome you back into Montezuma Cortez High School. We're glad you joined us here on StreamUtah.Live for San Juan Bronco Wrestling as we get ready to go at 106. San Juan will forfeit the first match to Montezuma Cortez. I'm pretty sure the kid's name's Tegan Sannard, from what I could gather. But we're going to see what there's obviously some confusion. They didn't call Chad out at the 113. It's going to be an exhibition match. So Cortez will get the points for the forfeit, but Chad will wrestle exhibition, according to Coach Simpson. I'd like to thank a couple of our sponsors real quick before we get this duel started here. Canyonlands Tire and Flights Gymnastics. I appreciate them for all they do and the support they give to the community and the youth and sports in general. So thank you to those. A couple of sponsors there. We'll get to a couple more here as we get going. Also like to mention that San Juan will be in action this weekend, the 12th and 13th, at the North Sevier Tournament there in Salina, Utah. And according to the schedule I have, and I don't know, Anthony, if you know any different, but Friday's supposed to start at 2:30 p.m. and Saturday at 9 a.m. So I'm thinking that's pretty close to where they should be. It's usually typically what they do on those Friday and Saturday tournaments. So if you're want a little trip around the world, go over there. And it's going to be a busy weekend over there. I know that we're taking 4 or 5 of our youth wrestlers, a couple junior high and a couple little leaguers over to the Beehive Brawl. And that tournament filled up a few days ago with, I believe, around 1,800 wrestlers. So it's going to be a busy weekend over in Salina, Richfield area. But if you've got nothing better to do, drive on over there and support the Bronco wrestlers as they take part in that North Sevier tournament.
It should be a good tournament. There's several. I was looking at who's coming. There's several big schools coming. Some of the smaller schools. I know Millard for 2A is going to be there, so we'll get a look at them again. So,
yeah, North Sevier does a good job. I've been to a lot of their tournaments over the year, Little League, junior high, high school, and Coach Smith does an excellent job at putting on tournaments and really a huge wrestling figure and just a great guy all around coach. But yeah, they do a great job with those tournaments over there. So I'm not sure what we're trying to figure out here. We did the lineups, we did the coin toss, but obviously there's some confusion. And as soon as we know, we'll get going here. But I'll also remind you that on January 27th, the 2A divisional tournament is in Blanding. So we like you to come out to that, support the Broncos as they host the 2A divisional tournament there at San Juan High School. I know those are a lot of fun to put on. I know Coach Simpson, Coach Musselman have, got planning process, trying to put on a good tournament. It's a lot of fun to host those things. It's a lot of fun not have to drive and get a motel room. So
that'll be nice.
It'll be a fun day at San Juan High School on the 27th of January. Mark it on your calendars. As it looks like we're not going to raise the hand for the forfeit here, but 106 is a forfeit from San Juan to Cortez. And now we're going to go exhibition match at 113. This is going to be Chad Yellow, fresh off a all-star match last night. I joked with Coach Simpson that he was overweight because he probably stopped at Chuckarama afterwards. And
probably,
those wrestlers, usually you wrestle a tournament, you wrestle a couple of things, and you want to go eat. So that's why it was always funner to wrestle heavyweight.
Didn't have to worry, huh?
And here we go. We start this match between Chad Yellow and Keaton Curly Hair for the Panthers. Chad with a nice trip gets a quick 2 takedown. Chad slips the leg in, trying to break him back down. Curly Hair able to slip out of that and get 2 reversal. Chad wrestles a little funky. They used to, the Askren brothers in college, they used to call it the Askren Funk. And Chad kind of has that. He's here and there, flips around. He's wiry, I guess. And we go out of bounds, come back to the center. But
he has his own style.
He does. And sometimes as I watch him, I'm like, oh man, just stay centered, stay back and where you belong, and you won't get in the. But he seems to get out of a lot of stuff, and it works for him as he goes through that role. And good job by Curly Hair for staying tight on that tight waist, not letting him out of it. As Chad tries to come up with a switch, standing switch. It's inside, he just got to get around behind. He's got that ankle. He's going to get 2 reversal. Going to bring your score 4-2 in favor of Chad as he puts the legs in now. You just want to kind of wear your opponent out here on top. Excuse me. Problem you're running here too, if you're Chad, is you've got to be aggressive here. You got to be going for your halves, your inside wrist. You can't just sit there and ride the legs on someone. You got to work for a pin here. You're going to get stall calls. Chad goes side to side with his hands. Curly hair doing a good job at just staying on a base and not letting Chad get underneath to turn him. And we're going to get a stalemate. Looks like we may have some blood time here too for red, so we're going to go blood time here. Cortez got a good youth program. They're really coming up and going. They've got a good program building here. I look for them to be very competitive in the next couple of years and throughout the future. If they can they have the same problem I think a lot of schools have is, I call it the third edition. If you can get 60 kids out in your little league program, you might keep 40 of them through junior high and maybe, or even 25 and then maybe even 10 or 12 into high school. So you have a huge drop off. So the bigger you can get your youth program, the more you're going to get to your high school program as they get curly hair taped up here and we're ready to go. He's going on bottom.
Did they have quite a few in middle school this year?
Yeah, they've got a good little program going. I friends with their director over here, this guy that moved into Cortez from back east, and he's just a heck of a guy. Does a lot of fundraising, they go to a lot of outside tournaments. Has his own tournament over here right before the season starts for Pride season. Just really trying to build the wrestling community here in Cortez, like we all are in our communities, and it's just an ongoing thing. You just always got to be trying to build. Going to go into the first period here. Chad leads 4-2 for the Broncos. Chad's going to defer the choice. Curly hair. I'm having tongue tied saying curly hair tonight. It's not like I haven't said that name 1,000 times in my life. Curly hair's coach tells him take bottom, so we'll see if Chad can get those legs back in. Ride him out here, break him down, turn him. Really needs some near fall here, only up 4-2. Slips the first leg in.
Chad usually does a pretty good job when he's up on top.
Yeah, he's a tough rider. And as he's got that half in now, he's got the legs in. He's getting near fall count. He's got to bring that head back. Keep those scissors on. There he goes. Turn your hips out. Going to get 2 near fall out of that. Chad gets a little high for me. I know he's a leg rider. And those leg riders, they like to get up there. And I got a boy that's the same way. He likes to get up high, and then when he gets in trouble, try to throw those legs in. And it works 90% of the time, but man, it makes me nervous as a coach.
And once in a while, you'll get him sneaking out the back like Curly Hair's trying to do here.
Yeah, and Chad just needs to keep that wrist and lock a power half on here and just keep him up, work his body up, work his hips back as he goes for that half again. It's a lot of pressure on Curly Hair on the bottom. He's doing a great job though, just fighting it off and just staying on his base. That's hard to just stay there on your base if you're the bottom guy. Getting squeezed, your shoulders getting turned, and now Chad puts the leg scissors in, but he's going to let him come around. We're going to get 2 near fall for Chad, and we're going to get a reversal here for Curly Hair. And now a near fall count. Only 1 is what I saw. And Chad's able to come back up, but we're going to get 2 near fall for Curly Hair. Going to bring the score 6-8 and now 6-10 with the reversal. But again, Chad way high up here. It's way high. He's able to slip both legs in. The last time he got those scissors on, he just wasn't able to hold him. Curly Hair did a great job at just getting his hips swiveled, coming up on top with those leg scissors. We go to the third period. Chad's going to have a decision to make here. See if he goes down or he's going to take bottom. He's up 10-6.
Is Curly Hair Sophomore, junior, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got the roster off of Coach Simpson's scorebook, so I don't have a roster for these guys. I'm not sure. I don't follow Colorado like I do religiously on track, so I don't really know what these guys. I know that curly hair got a half and a wrist. Need a hip in here if you're Chad. Kind of needs to hip up, get his hips up and square right here and step over now. Step over, Chad.
He's got it.
Goes in for that head. He's got the neck, got the headlock going for a cowboy. Trying to get underneath that arm. Curly hair doing a great job at keeping his elbows in. Now Chad goes for a cradle, near side cradle. He's got it locked up. He just got to bring it over. 12-6 is the score, coming up on a minute left. Chad's able to break him down. Oh, don't let Curly hair sit up. There we go. It took a while, but he's able to get him. It was a hard-fought match. Both wrestlers really kept going at it. A lot of scrambling. And Chad's able to get 16 points. Well, no, because he gets the W, but the team points go to Curly hair because of the forfeit. So it's going to be Cortez at this point, 12-0 in the team points. As we go to 120, this should be freshman Staley Dandy against Zane Frazier for Cortez. As we're going to get some blood cleaned up on the mat. As we do, we'll take a quick break here ourselves. We'll be back in 10 seconds.
Last year I was at my lowest, going through some pretty serious depression. A couple of friends of mine stopped by the house and said they were worried about me. Said they'd feel a lot better if they could hold on to my firearms until things turned around. I think they saved my life.
If your loved ones are struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, because things do get better.
We welcome you back now as we get ready for the 120-pound match between Staley Dandy, your San Juan Bronco, facing off against Zane Frazier is what I have. What have you liked about Staley this year, Coach?
He moves and he keeps moving, and he's done really well as a freshman to go in there and battle against some of these kids that are better, and he's surprised some. That's what I like, because he's going in there. It doesn't matter who he's wrestling against. He's going to give it his all.
Yeah, and right there you see exactly what you're talking about. He's on his butt. The Cortez wrestler has the advantage, but Staley just keeps scooting his hips, and able to come out and around and get the two takedown. And coaching him last year in junior high, same thing I noticed. He is a fighter. He will keep going. He's got a high motor, and he just continues to wrestle through stuff, which a lot of kids will just, I'm on my butt, I'm going to bail out. Staley likes to fight through it, as now he comes in with that leg and that power half.
Yeah, it's trying to get the stack there.
Now he's just trying to break down that far arm, slips the leg out. Frazier comes up to his feet, but a nice mat return by Staley. He's got that 2-on-1. Able to get that ankle and break him back down. Get the official telling him action out there. Staley back with that 2-on-1 as Frazier comes up. Nice return. Staley's done a good job at getting him returned right back to the mat as he comes onto his feet. There goes wrist to the chicken wing. Coach is yelling him to stack him up, run it, put your elbow on the mat here. Now Staley comes around with the far side half, jumps over, he's got a wrist and a half, and this is going to tighten up that half a little bit. Head up, hips down. Squeeze that right there. Head up. There we go. Staley going to get the fall for the Broncos. Yeah, I really like Staley. I think as he's one of those at 120, that's a good weight for him to come in and really get a lot of good experience against kids that are going to be freshmen and sophomores like him, and just figure out how to wrestle, because there's a huge difference between you come from junior high to high school. They're just the level of intensity and the moves and the things you go through just a lot different. And so you just like to see those kids come in their freshman year and really catch on to the speed of the high school wrestling matches. As we go to 126, Declan Helquist versus Orion And I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name because I don't know. Nice shot by Orion. Declan able to get his hips back on a nice sprawl. Now comes around a nice front headlock. Looks like he's got that far leg,
He's got
too.
the leg, yep.
Get underneath that and get a cradle right there. Comes back to the, goes to that death roll. He's able to come on top. That should be 2 right there. There we go. Now he's put those both legs in, Declan. Get both those legs in and spread him out. Got a nice neck wrench. There we go. Quick pin for Declan coming out there. He must be feeling lots better.
Yeah. Thank goodness. He's had a rough go lately. He's been sick and everything else for the last few weeks.
He's another kid that has a high motor. I mean, just a kid that continually working hard and getting after it. And you saw it right there. Just, especially, he's sick the first day of the two-way duels and then come out and where most kids be like, I just want to stay home or I don't want to wrestle because I've been sick. I don't feel up to it. But he comes out and goes 4-1. So good little match there for Declan to start off this try as we go now to another freshman at 132, Mike and Keith. And his opponent is Rusty Snyder from Montezuma Cortez. Rusty, nice little tap and go. Nice fight off by Mike in there to keep his hips down. Mike is another one of those kids that I noticed last year in junior high, and you probably know the same thing this year, is just a high-motored kid. And that's what you need. You need that in the room. You need kids that are willing to push each other. And Mike, and all last year, was pushing kids and just goes 100%. Oh, he's able to high single. Nice way to get out of it. We go 2 for 2.
And that's
and
what
now
keep
1.
on moving does for you.
That's right. That high motor, just keep moving. You don't want to sit. The minute you hit the mat, you got to be popping off it. And Mike, and prime example right there, is he's able to come up, get back away. It's going to be 3-2 for the Cortez Panther. We come up on a minute in the first period. Deep shot there by Rusty. Gets his head caught inside, needs to get to the outside. Mike and got a nice ankle grab, just trying to sink his hips down. Put as much pressure as you can up there on Snyder's head and shoulders. Needs to like to see him get his hand around there and get a cross face or even try to push his head down on the mat. Now he's got both ankles. There you go. Get a cross face there, Mike, and push that head down. Don't let him get that angle. Just needs to keep finishing. Circling his hips with him. We're going to get a stalemate or nothing. We're going to get a potentially dangerous here if he pulls it outside, which is not a bad thing.
No.
Smart wrestler will, kind of pull that out and get out of that. But right now, Snyder's expending a lot more energy than Mikan. Mikan's not in a bad spot here. This is wearing on Snyder. Mikan doing a good job with his hips. Keep him back. There you go. Good job, Mikan. Gonna go into the second period down 3-2, but it could have been 5-2 for sure. And Mikan just fought hard there. And that Mikan's a lot fresher now going into the second period than Snyder, because that takes a lot of energy out of you, trying to not only just keep a hold of that leg, but driving through your opponent's weight and his upper body pushing down.
He's holding up his opponent's weight the whole
Snyder
time.
chooses bottom here. Quick switch there by Snyder, looking for that cradle, but Mikan able to come up, get an escape on his own. So we're going to be, should be 5-3 with that escape, with the reversal and then the escape. I don't know. They've got 4-2 on the scoreboard, but I think it should be 5-3. So we go back to center. Mikan needs to be careful here that getting wide out like that, head-and-hand defense. We've already seen that Snyder can shoot in deep. Snyder with a whizzer now. Mikan with a body hug, trying to just stay up on his feet, not let him throw that whizzer down. If he hooks that inside leg. No, we're going to go off the mat. It's a way to fight that whizzer out there. Rusty had a deep whizzer in there, and Mikan's able to fight it off. Don't slow down here, Mikan. Keep going. Keep your speed up. This is where you need to push him. Mikan, a nice shot. Got that single leg. He's got the angle, too. He's hooked over the ankle. He's got a whizzer. Rusty with that whizzer. Mikan's going to drive through. Don't let him step over, Mikan. Scoot your hips. Nice rollout to get out of bounds. So no harm, no foul there. Mikan really fighting that whizzer off good, Coach.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. That's tough, too, when they get it as deep as he had it.
Coming up on 30 seconds left in the second period here. Scoreboard shows 4-2, so I guess we'll go with that. I think it should be 5-3. Either way, we're down by 2 points. See, I can do math on the fly. Now that's a deep shot right there by Rusty, able to get 2 more points. Mikan able to come off his back, but not after 2 near fall awarded. 2 seconds left in the second period. So we're going to go to the third. Mikan down 8-2.
Now, is this the coach's son? Do you know?
I think so, but I'm not positive.
Okay. Yeah, Mikan's got his work cut out for him in this third period. He's going to have to really work to regain 6 points.
Yeah, this is
Or
where a
get a
nice
pin.
Peterson roll, get a quick 5 points or even a fall would work in his favor here. He's hooking that upper elbow. Rusty in there hard. A lot of those college guys call that the coffee grinder. Rusty trying to get the quick stack here. Mikan's got to be real smart here. Keep good base. Keep his elbow in. Rusty has the chicken wing on the far elbow. And try to pull him straight back. Get the official over top, watching the shoulder. This is where he runs into some potentially dangerous. Now he's got the hammerlock. Rusty's going to look to thread the needle here. Or just drive him straight over as he lets go of the hammerlock. Mike can bring up that outside knee, bring up that right knee so we can pressure back in as we come up on 53 seconds. No near fall, but Mike is going to get a reversal on the line. We still have 2 points in. Oh. So we're going to get 2 reversal out of that. No near fall looked like it was awarded to Rusty. So the score on the scoreboard shows 8-4 with 30 seconds left in the match. Mikan's really got to get some back points here.
Yeah, he's 30 seconds. Yep. He's got short time.
He's got to get back points and either let him up taken down or get a fall here. Looks like they're going for a 3-quarter. Rusty doing a good job of not letting him bend him, but that's a tight 3-quarter. And Rusty able to fight out of it. Coming up on 10 seconds. 5 seconds left in the match. Mikan is going to battle hard, and what a great match. I mean, he's going to come out, on the short end of the stick, 8-4. But what a great match for the freshman to come out here and battle hard. Got out of some tough stuff, put his opponent in some tough stuff right here on the edge of the mat, and that, 40 seconds left going to his back, and then able to just high bridge off his back and get that reversal.
That was a great reversal.
A lot of potential there in that freshman. That's going to be a decision win, so that'll be 3 team points for Cortez, as the score is going to be 8-4 on the board. And Lennox Ben's going to get a forfeit here, according to the book, so he should get 16 points. And then we'll go to Kai Fox. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Kai Fox?
Yep.
And then for Montezuma Cortez, going to be Aaron Morris, 144 pounds. Now, I know this Morris kid because I've watched him come up through the Little League program. Some kids you just remember. They got that look about them. You can remember who they are from year to year. You see them in all these Little League tournaments, junior high things. This kid's one I remember from Cortez. Kai, tell us something about Kai.
So he's a sophomore, first year wrestling. He's filling in here. Usually this would be Taryn out there. Taryn's sick. Wasn't able to come today. So we got Kai, and Kai's really coming on as as someone that's never wrestled before, he's a strong kid and he works hard. So it's fun to watch how much he's improved.
Yeah, he had a nice cowboy on there, but obviously was kind of unaware. Oh, that's unaware what to do, and then looks over his coach, and that's one of the things those newer wrestlers, young wrestlers, you got to teach them. Hey, when I'm talking to you, you don't have to look at me, just listen, because right when he looks over, his opponent there, Morris, comes in and shoots a shot. Not way to work off his back though. Only gives up 2 near fall. Should have a reversal here. Get inside the elbows here if you're Kai. Pressure back. No reversal yet. Now we're going to get the reversal. So it's going to be 6-2. Coming up on a minute left in the first. Kai doing a great job here.
Yeah. And he had an injury and he wasn't able to wrestle all last week. His first day back was yesterday.
Wow.
So he's had a long break. So
yeah, that's almost 3 weeks off. He's got a lot of fire in him. It's like those are the kids you love to come into your room. They just have that natural ability, and if you can just teach them a few things and how to position their body and how to work their body against their opponent, man, they're just dynamic wrestlers. Kai doing a good job on his feet, takes a shot, then on a double leg.
And he keeps
Morris with double underhook. Nice throw there by Morris. That double underhook as he steps over. And this is going to be hard for Kai to fight out of.
Yeah.
But a good little match there. He did some good things. I don't know if they're filming it or not. Or he can go back and watch our film here on StreamUtah.Live. But what a good match to build off of for Kai coming out here and did some good things. I saw some good things out of him.
Yeah.
He's got good balance, it looked like, coming off the bottom. He got in that double underhook throw, and that's hard for a good wrestler to get out of.
Yeah, and you could see a little bit of inexperience showing there, but he's learning, and he listens real well. He's real coachable, and like I said earlier, he works hard, so he'll come around.
Good, and he's got some good kids above him, below him that are going to build him into that wrestler he needs to be for the Broncos. As we look at Wrigley Legilia getting the forfeit for the Broncos at 150 pounds. Our next match will be at 157. Before we start, we'd also like to thank Hello Beautiful Salon, San Juan Counseling Center, and the San Juan School District for sponsoring tonight's event as well. As we go to 157, this is Parker Snyder and David Orr, I believe. Parker, he's coming off of a big award in the All-State 2A MVP football.
Yes.
Way to fight off there, as David's a formidable foe here for Parker. Oh, nice throw there on the snap by Parker as he gets an over and under. He's going to have 2. The ref's on the wrong side. He needs to get back here. There he comes. Keep your toes in there. We got 2 supporting points still in as their opponent works in. Able to come off his back and get the 3 near fall. It's going to be, we go out of bounds. Should be 5-0. They've only got it 4-0.
Well, this is David Vreeken. He has his grandparents are David and Nancy Kimmerly in Blanding, so he's got Blanding ties.
Oh wow, yeah, he's a good-looking kid. He's got a good physical form there, and obviously, he's a good little wrestler. He's able to fight off of that throw. But yeah, I think Coach Simpson's over there talking to him about the score could be 5-0 here.
Yeah, they changed it.
There we go. He said his last name's Vreeken?
Vreeken.
With a V?
With a V.
A V, a Vreeken. Okay. Well, that's why I bring you, because you're smarter than I am. We're going to get a caution on Parker on top. Ref wants him to touch that belly button and not go across to the tight waist off the start. Vreeken able to stand up, but return and stand up again. Parker able to bring him down with a nice mat return. Parker now trying to get his head in there. Drop down to that wrist. Drive forward. Tries a roll there. I don't know if I would try a roll on Vreeken. You get a stout kid like that that's built like that. I get weary of trying to do a tilt or a roll through because, man, those kids just have a lot of weight in their hips. We're on the edge of the mat. Parker trying to bring him back in with a chicken wing. Needs to get that inside wrist. There he goes. Now he's going to run that chicken wing. Vreeken comes up to his base. Brings that outside knee up, but Parker's able to bring him over. Got to keep that far wrist. Vreeken able to come out. Parker still has the leg, so there's no change here. Good job by the official of not awarding that. Because we're going to get 1 instead of 2, which is, at the end of the day, if you're Parker, you don't get a reversal. You don't go to your back, give up near fall. Give up 1. Nice low single outside. Vreeken able to fight that off with that whizzer, and we go to the end of the period. Score 5-1 in favor of Parker Snyder. Cortez has always had some good wrestlers every year. Even in their down years when they had a handful of kids on their team, they've always had some really good studs over here. Just a well-coached program over the years. You wonder why they don't have a lot more on their team, because aren't they a 3A school over here, or are they 2A?
I'm not even sure.
Trying to see in their state championship banners if it says, but you would think just the size of Cortez, they would have a much bigger team.
Yeah, they've at least got to be a 3A school.
Going to go out of bounds. A lot of upper body fighting, and you can tell that maybe conditioning is going to come into play here if we get deep into the third period. So we get some instruction by the official. I bet he's telling them to stay centered, stop working the edge of the mat. But Parker's been the aggressor here on his feet for the most part. He's been the one containing the center of the mat. Nice duck under that single. Way to get low on that ankle and just pry that up. Going to get 2 takedown. He's got that far shoulder, trying to drive it through. Just stay there with that arm as Vreeken's trying to get some hand control. Stay high shoulder up. Going to have 3 near fall when we come off here. Now try to go to a barbed wire. Parker's going to secure 3 near fall here. Coming up on 55 seconds left in the second period. Parker now puts in the chicken wing. Getting some instructions from Coach Schneider over there. It's always the worst to coach your own kids. It's the best and worst because, man, you live through every move with them. You're out there on the mat just, do this, do that. But it's also one of the greatest things. We're going to get a potentially dangerous as we come up, and they're going to do that because we had the chicken wing and a wrist. So if Parker was to mat return him, he couldn't defend himself or help himself back to the mat. So nice, potentially dangerous call there by the officials. We go back. It also gives Parker a chance to reset from the top position.
Parker's another one of these kids that keeps moving. You don't ever see him stop. He's always moving, trying. If one thing doesn't work, he moves to the next. He works hard.
10-2 is your score in favor of Parker, coming up on 8 seconds left in the second period. Nice takedown on the edge of the mat for Parker. He's so quick on his shots, too, and he's quick to get to that low ankle. It's one thing that you try to teach kids, and you just wish that more kids would pay attention to, is a lot of kids like to shoot those upper shots, those double leg and single legs way up top, and they like to lift with their body. And against a kid that has good hips or just a good balanced kid, it's hard to get there. If you can go to that ankle, that's the weakest part of the leg, and that's where you're going to get them every time. And Parker does a great job at getting those low singles, and he's quick to get in there, too. Parker goes bottom here in the third period, up 12-2. Quick escape here for Parker as he watches the official. He's got to get heavy hips, and he's able to turn, but Vreeken able to keep a hold, and we're going to get 1 now. Parker goes right after him, too. I love that. We're deep in this match, 13-2. Minute 50 left, and we come out of the stand-up, and we just go right at our guy. I mean, that's just the intensity you got to have that championship mindset to get deep into the state tournament and even win a state title. That's the kind of wrestling you got to do. 15-2, minute 46 left in the third. Again, trying to get that, trying to stack him there, get that little roll. Oh, Nice switch by Vreeken and a re-switch by Parker. Now it's just a dogfight. Take that ankle. Christ face getting instructions. Comes up and looks like Parker's headgear is broken. Still going after the shot. And he's going to get, oh, no, we're going to go out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Not able to keep those toes in.
You
Also,
can see him stretching, trying to keep those 2 points of contact.
He just come off the ground and came out. But, yeah, just great mat awareness by Parker as well. And if you're Vreeken, you just got to go for nothing here. You're down 15-3. And Parker's he doesn't look like he's getting any weaker. He just keeps shooting and going. He's got great offense here, and we're going to get 2 here. That's 2 takedown. We're going to go on the back. Oh, that's a pin right there. Get down there, official. Yep, and he's going to get it with 55 seconds left. 17-3. We're going to get the fall for Parker Snyder. I tell you, that's one of those matches you're over there as your coach. You're telling your freshman, watch this kid, this match. You better be paying attention because he just did everything right there. Every time he got in trouble, he got himself out, and then he went on the offensive, on the attack.
There's no
scored 17
down.
points before the fall. That's David Taylor wrestled for Penn State, won a couple of national titles. Just a great Penn State wrestler. And one of the quotes one of the things I loved about him is he would always say, you know what, I'm not going out there to win by 1 point. I'm going out there to score as many points as I can. And that's the mentality that Parker just showed there on the mat. We're going out of J.D. Palmer, and unfortunately for J.D., he's not going to have a match tonight. He's going to have 2 forfeits here at 165 for the Broncos.
Durango doesn't have a 65 either.
Nope. That's Durango's missing 3 weights tonight, it looks like. Or 2 weights. And 3, 106 as well. So, but that's a double forfeit when we get to that one. So JD's going to get a forfeit here on this match, and then he'll get it on the next match too. We'll go now to 175. Wrestling for Cortez is going to be Dalton. I think his name's Muzzy. That's what I could get out of Coach Simpson's handwriting. And he's facing off against the Bronco, Trace Bennett. Trace, one of those kids we talked about, had a great 2-way duels. Came out and wrestled strong.
He's a strong kid, and he's picked up a lot. And he's another one with a motor that just keeps moving. He doesn't slow down.
Yeah, and I love Trace, watching him on the football field and on the wrestling mat. And I also love it because I grew up with his dad, same as you, and his dad's a big, tall kid and not a wrestler. And here his kids out here dominate. I love it when you can get those big, tall basketball player families to have a wrestler in the family. Makes my heart swell. Trace with the quick takedown. Nice little roll to get near fall. Elevate that leg and just keep the pull there.
Yeah, that was textbook. Had his leg pinned up there, so he stayed on his back. Got his points.
Yeah, he's going to go again, but he hasn't broke his hold, so he's not getting any near fall. He needs to let go of that wrist. There he goes. Now we're going to get 3 near fall. Now he can go back to it. I'm going to get him again. Oh, nice far half step over. And the Cortez kid's laboring here. Good listening by Trace there. He's got to get under that head, though, either the reverse half or a regular half. You get the fall here. 24 seconds left in the first period. Trace is going to get the fall.
That was a good job by Trace.
Your team score right now going into a double forfeit at 190 is 42-15 in favor of the Broncos. And we're going to go to 215 as both teams forfeit at 190. So we'll go down to 215. This Jared Burke for the Broncos against Hunter Goodall. Goodall's a name that, a lot of people might know from over in San Juan County. He's got a good cowboy there. Got to get heavy on the head. Goodall able to slip his head and now get around behind for 2 takedown. Nice cowboy there by Jared. Just had to keep that head a little tighter and get deeper under that arm, and he's able to throw that.
Jared's another first-year wrestler as a senior, and he keeps getting better every week. And I think he's going to surprise some people when we get down the road a little bit.
Yeah, Jared's one of those kids that, you wish you had more mat time with him in the room.
Yep.
Just grateful he came out this year. Going to have blood time here on Jared's right elbows. We've got a cut opened up. Little mat burn probably. So we're going to get blood time red. As we do, we'll take a quick break here as we get the blood time cleaned up. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Right.
Men can take a hit. We can tough it out. We're told to suck it up a lot more than we're asked to talk it out. But the truth is, the only way to tackle what's up here is by talking it out. To simply say what we're feeling. With friends, family, or the Utah Crisis Hotline. Put this number in your contacts right now. And if you're ever wondering if you have someone to talk to, you do. 24/7.
All right, we welcome you back here to Montezuma Cortez High School. We've got some blood cleaned up and the official making his final rounds here. We're at our 215-pound weight class. Jared Burke for the Broncos versus Hunter Goodall for the Panthers. Score is 2-0 for Goodall. He'll be in the top position. 1:09 left in the first period. Nice stand-up by Jared. That's just going to break those hands, open that gate. Nice return by Goodall there. Jared's able to come right back to his base. You get to these upper weights, 215 heavyweight, the best thing you can do is spring back up and get out from underneath that guy. You don't want to be laying there, letting him just exert his, will against you and just burning your fuel as you're on bottom.
It's a lot of weight on top of you too. So
Jared's doing a nice job of coming to a base. He just got to come up, and then when he gets to that base, explode into that stand up, into that switch, into a sit out. He's got to have a move there when he gets back to his base, as Goodall's looking for that hammer lock. Good job by Jared, able to get out of that. Jared here needs to just come back, come up hard here. Goodall right on top of his hips. We'll see if the ref warns him here. There he goes, gets off the side. 2-0 your score, coming up on 5 seconds left in the first period. Right now, you just don't want Jared to get turned. Survive the period, which he does, only down 2-0. As the bandage slips off his arm, so we're going to have him re-tape back up. And as we do that, we'd like to thank a couple of sponsors here again. Canyonlands Tire, Flights Gymnastics, Hello Beautiful Salon, San Juan School District, and San Juan County Counseling Centers. Thank you, Lane. Good thing Lane's sitting here to remind me. Also, thank Lane Palmer and Pitcher at Palmer for broadcasting these events, taking time out of their life and coming over here. They got a couple events tonight as they're broadcasting this wrestling try tonight, and then I think at 7 o'clock they will go to, it's at 6 o'clock, the San Juan Bronco basketball team. So here in about a minute, they're going to start that game. But we don't want you to leave us because we want you to stay here wrestling. You can go catch that game after halftime. But the San Juan Bronco basketball team's in action tonight as well. So a lot of Bronco sports, getting back into it after the long break.
Yep.
Like we mentioned earlier, this weekend, the 12th and 13th, the Broncos will be at the North Sevier Tournament in Salina, Utah.
Run the basketball for some reason.
Friday start is 2:30 p.m. That's at North Sevier High School there in Salina, and then Saturday at 9 a.m. Also this weekend, myself and Coach Lehigh Lacey are taking, I believe, 5 kids to the toughest youth tournament in the state, the Beehive Brawl, over in Richfield. So it's going to be a busy area over there. So if you're in the Richfield, Salina area, you can catch a little bit of youth junior high wrestling and some high school action. Good weekend to wrestle over there.
Kids always love going to that. They do a good job, make a big production of it. You get to run the kids out. It's fun. I remember the kids growing up always loved that.
Yeah, it's a tough tournament. I know that some of these seniors on this team attended that years ago when they were youth. I know Coach Snyder was there with them. I saw some pictures this week on Facebook. Just a great tournament for those kids. I see a lot of kids see some Wyoming, Nevada, Utah. Tough tournament. And we've got some good kids going over there to wrestle in that as well. Jared on bottom here. He's down 2-0 starting the second period. This is where if you're Jared, you got to just work for an escape here. Your focus should be 1 or 2 points here, but not going to your back, not giving up near falls.
Oh, good.
Jared's able to buck him off. As Goodall gets way high, and Jared able to feel that and able to just elevate his hips, buck him off, and able to get 2 reversal. Now he just needs to keep his hips up on top, stay inside and behind him, not get too far. We can ride Goodall out here or even get a turn. Best case scenario is Jared's got to just stay behind him. Nice little kick there. Almost tried to do a Granby roll by Goodall and got to his head and stopped, but was able to come down and make it effective as he's out with 1 escape. Score 3-2 in favor of Goodall from Cortez. Shot by Jared. This is where you, as a big guy, you just can't, even a little guy, you hate to see him stop here. You got to hit that corner, get your hips up, keep moving forward. There you go.
Nice.
Get to that angle, just like you football coaches. You teach those offensive linemen. And we may get a fall here. Goodall has given up.
He is down.
Yep, he knew he was had, and he just stopped for a moment. You don't want to do that if you're ever on the bottom.
No.
Nice match for Jared.
That is awesome to see. He had to work hard on that and battle through some tough stuff.
Oh, yeah, that first period, he was, definitely Goodall had the upper hand in that first period, but right there, just come alive and finding those angles when you're on bottom and you come out is what I was going to say is you teach those offensive linemen in football to come and get those angles to move those guys out of the hole. And right there, Jared just found the angle and was able to come get the fall. And this is going to be our last match of this duel. And we're going to go right into the Durango San Juan duel. So unlike when we went to Moab and we were there for 4 hours, this one's going to be a lot faster because we're going to wrestle Durango next. But Porter Keith getting the forfeit for San Juan at the heavyweight. And as we get ready to switch teams, we'll go to a quick commercial break. Appreciate you being with us here on StreamUtah.Live, a production of PitcherAtPalmer.com. So we'll go to a quick break here, and we'll be back with the Durango San Juan duel.
Hi everyone, I'm Lieutenant John Young with the San Juan County Sheriff's Office. Our job is to protect and serve those who live in this great county we call home. Youth are a very important part of our communities. It is normal for children to become more independent and mature as they get older, but parental involvement drops by half between the 6th and 12th grade when our kids need us the most. To help stay involved and connected with your children, just ask the 5 W's. Where are you going? What are you doing? Who will you be with? When will you be home? And will there be drugs or alcohol? It's not being nosy, it's being a good parent. So come on, San Juan County, let's do this.
Hi, I am Misty Cly. Traditions and family are very important in our Navajo culture. Think about the following ideas to help you bond with your children. Eat dinner together, help your kids, choose friends wisely, keep in touch with your kids, listen and be supportive. Working with one another in our community to strengthen families is vital to our youth, succeeding and becoming strong, healthy, and resilient. Together, let's do this.
Hello, my name is Willis Begay. Parents are the #1 reason that kids don't drink. Studies have shown the following strategies to be important in reducing the risk of underage drinking and the negative impact on the developing brain. 1. Bonding. Stay close to your kids. 2, boundaries. Set clear rules. And 3, monitoring. Know where your kids are, who they are with, and what they are doing, and when they will be home. Together we can make a difference in San Juan County homes. Let's do this.
All right, we welcome you back here to Montezuma Cortez High School, Cortez, Colorado, for the second duel of the night. Feature your San Juan Broncos versus the Durango Demons. And we talked about earlier in the broadcast, but of course the two-way duels happened this last weekend. San Juan was able to take third as a team. Talked about some of the individual accomplishments there and how they did, but also this last night was the All-Star Duels put on at Utah Valley University, fundraiser for UVU Wrestling, the Wolverine wrestling team there. And 2 San Juan Bronco wrestlers were invited to wrestle in that. Taylor Black at heavyweight, Chad Yellow at 113. Both wrestlers went up and participated. Unfortunately, both of them came home, with a loss, but not officially because it's just one of those fun events they do. But an honor to go to that and wrestle, and they represented San Juan and the community and the wrestling team very well. So kudos to those 2 young men for going up and being selected, first of all, to represent the Broncos and their team. But Anthony, you got some stuff for the North Severe as we wait here for the start of this next duel on who's going to be at the North Severe tournament this weekend with the Broncos. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just pulled up who is supposed to be there, who we'll get to see this weekend at the tournament. Looks like Altamont, American Leadership Academy, Canyon View, Carbon, Cedar, Crimson Cliffs, Delta, Desert Hills, Enterprise, Foothill, Grand County, Gunnison, Juab, Kanab, Millard, North St. Pete, North Severe, North Summit, Richfield, Salem Hills, and South Severe.
A lot of 2A teams. A lot of those teams on there are teams that are going to see at the divisional tournament on January 27th at San Juan High School. So a good week. You've had the 2A duels. You've had this duel tonight. A lot of these guys have gotten, 8 to 10 matches under their belt after the long Christmas, New Year's break. And so you'd like to roll into that tournament and hopefully be firing on all cylinders as you go to North Severe. And it looks tonight, even a couple of matches that the Broncos lost in that first duel, good things out of those kids and a lot of good wrestling. They've obviously knocked the rust off at the 2A duels if there wasn't any rust coming out of that. To give you the final team score from that first duel against Montezuma Cortez, San Juan's going to win that 54-21. San Juan only gives up 3 falls, 1 decision. Well, actually, they gave up 12 points just in forfeits. So
Yep.
You give up 12 points in forfeits, and they give up another fall and a 3-point decision there. So not a bad showing there for San Juan as we get set for the Durango duel. Again, remind you that our next broadcast will be January 17th as the Broncos head to Monticello to wrestle in that Monticello Tri. I'm not sure what teams are going to be at that. Typically, you can see San Juan, Monticello, sometimes a Grand, sometimes a Whitehorse, sometimes a Monument Valley. Just have to wait and see what teams they've invited to that. But invite you to join us on January 17th. They have a start time on the schedule at 7 p.m., and we'll let you know if that changes. You can follow pitcherpalmer.com or on Facebook, Pitcher at Palmer, to get all your information on broadcasts and up-to-date current affairs. Lane and Caleb do a great job. Lane, obviously, the mastermind helping us today, and he's just showing me on their website there is the schedule and time. So if that time changes, we will put it on there, and we'll let you know on Facebook as well. You also follow the San Juan Wrestling Facebook page. They do a good job of keeping updated as well on current affairs for the Broncos wrestling team. Again, I'd like to thank a couple of our sponsors. This is huge for us to be able to do this, to come out here and watch these kids perform and then bring it to you live in your home or wherever you're at this evening. But a huge thanks goes out to Canyonlands Tire, Flights Gymnastics, Hello Beautiful Salon, San Juan School District, and San Juan County Counseling. Thank you to those supporters. Please, if you are able to have any interaction with those fine folks, give them a thank you and tell them how much you appreciate it. I know I was in Canyonlands Tire the other day buying a couple of tires and, telling old Levi thanks because he's a big sponsor for us. He does a lot of stuff for the high school, and you just can't have these kind of events without those community partners. So thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to Pitcher at Palmer and Lane for all they do to bring you high school sports.
It is awesome. Lots of people love that they can. Some of the people that can't get out or can't travel, they love that they can get on and watch, and so it's much appreciated.
And
all these we couldn't do without the sponsors. So
while we have some time, obviously hopefully they're not changing the lineup too much because I've already got it in ink. So if they change it, I guess we'll just have to go with it. But to go back to some of the things we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, the JV wrestlers last weekend attended the JV Utah Winter Classic, and some results for that. Marshall Gurley placed 5th, Coyer Johnson 3rd, Rias Blackhorse 2nd, Hunter Keith 2nd, Wrigley Legilia 1st, Chance Laws 2nd, Thomas Harden 2nd, and Porter Keith 2nd. So a lot of good work. We talked about it earlier for those JV kids. And then at the San Juan duels, or the two-way duels, which, just a good indication of where you're at. Like you mentioned earlier, the team takes 3rd. And that's, you talked about it, Coach Bayless, that this team's ambition is we want to finish 2nd, 1st. We want to beat a Beaver and Millard. And those are 2 of the perennial powerhouse teams in 2A right now that field 2 or 3 full teams. And so if you're going to beat them, you really got to have some help, but you also really got to wrestle hard and be on your A game and catch some kids that maybe you shouldn't catch. But a couple of kids that really did well over the 2A duels, Chad Yellow, 8-2. We talked about Declan. He was sick the first day, but then comes back and goes 4-1. A lot of kids over 500 in their matches. Parker Schneider, 8-2. J.D. Palmer, the best record of the weekend, goes 9-1. Only lost to Millard Tingy. And then Trace goes 8-2. And then our big heavyweight Taylor Black, 7-3. And you can find all those results for those tournaments if you're a wrestling nerd and want to look up that kind of stuff at trackwrestling.com. You can go on and select Utah High School boys season through the UHSAA and click on San Juan, and it'll give you all the information to your heart's desire. Also, just to remind you that Taylor Black and Chad, selected the all-star team, represented San Juan well at that. Went up against 2 really tough wrestlers, got some good experience out there, but just great to have some San Juan wrestlers invited to that event as it continues to grow each year. They have some junior high matches. They have some they had a whole mat dedicated to girls wrestling, as girls wrestling has really grown throughout the state of Utah. It's just a matter of time before we see a girls team at a San Juan school district. I believe that it's going to happen here in the next 5 years, that you're going to see a girls team in San Juan, Monticello, Whitehorse, My Valley, somewhere. It's got to happen through the youth program, and seeing how many girls wrestle in those youth programs. There's always a handful in each community, or a couple in some of those smaller ones that wrestle. And there's some really tough girls out there. And now that they're doing girls wrestling and it's a sanctioned event, I just wait for the day when we can field a team at San Juan, or even a San Juan school district team, something of that nature, to get out there, because there's some girls that could really do some damage in the wrestling world.
And there's been a couple that have been interested, but they haven't really pursued it.
Yeah. I know in the junior high we had 2 girls out this year. Unfortunately, one of them broke her collarbone the first tournament, and she's been wrestling for us for a couple years now. She'll be a 8th grader next year, so hopefully she's able to return and come back, and just a good little wrestler. And I think once you get her on the mat with just girls, she's going to do phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then another girl came out as a 6th grader, and she wrestled a few things with us until basketball started. But it's just one of those things that hopefully we can, if there's girls out there interested and parents out there interested, and that's just something that I love it, because, you give those girls a whole new world to go out there, and instead of just going out and wrestling the boys, to wrestle competition there, in their range, and be able to have success. And so last night, the All-Stars, there was a whole mat dedicated to the girls teams, and then 2 mats to the boys teams.
And most tournaments we go to have a girls tournament going on at the same time. On it, usually have their own mat, or they take a break in between each round and have the girls do a round. So it is growing.
Again, my name is Art Adair. We're here at Montezuma Cortez High School alongside the coach, the legend, Anthony Bayless. I've known Anthony since I was a little kid because he was a little kid then too.
Yeah.
And now no one accuses either one of us of being little.
Nope.
And it looks like a heavyweight in this duel. We're going to see Taylor. So he's going to get a match. Porter took the forfeit in the last duel. Going back to that, San Juan wins that one handily, easily, 54-21, giving up 2 forfeits in that one. And I'm going to see if there's anybody that didn't get a match last time. That Lennox Ben's going to get a match this time.
And he's going to have a tough
We'll
one.
see. We'll see Wrigley LaGilia in a match. This time he's going to have a match. JD, of course, going to get a forfeit at 190. No one for San Juan. And then Jared Burke's going to collect a forfeit this time at 215.
Yeah, unfortunately, Elmira has been wrestling for us at 190, and he re-injured his shoulder this last weekend at 2A duels.
As we start here, this is going to be 120 Staley Dandy and Ryan Dugan, if I'm correct. We'll see. They made a lot of changes over there at the table. Going to get a takedown here by the Durango wrestler. I'm not sure what they changed. I'm not sure. But we're starting here at this duel at 120. Quick 5 points for Durango. 2 takedown, 2 near fall. He's got the makings of a barbed wire there, and now switches to a reverse half. He's still getting near fall. He's got that far collar. Going to get 3 more near fall. Coming up on a minute 15, already up 8-0. Durango's got some good kids. I know you guys saw them over at Moab. I don't know if you remember much about them, but
just a couple of the kids. I know this Dugan kid's a really good wrestler. I know the Belt kid's a good wrestler. They have he's either their 65 or 75 that's really good as well.
Staley in a bad spot here.
That stood out.
Another Durango, I believe they're 3A as well, aren't they? Or are they 2A over there in Colorado?
They're bigger. They might be they're either a 3A, 4A. I know they used to be 5A. I don't know if that's dropped, but
they have a nice turf field over there at Durango High School.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
Staley back to his back here is going to get pinned here, down 13-1, 25 seconds left. So Staley comes out after a great first match and just battles hard but unable to pull it off. He's going to go down by fall. He's got a good smile on his face. Don't you like to see? You like to see your wrestlers come off and go to their coach and be given some instruction. Hey, let's try this next time when we get in a match like this, because I don't know if they'll see Durango again this year. They may at the Sand Devil Classic. I don't know if Durango goes to that. But you may see that kid again. As we go now to 126, Declan Helquist versus Asher McKinney. Asher tries a duck under. Good head and hands defense here by Declan to keep his elbow in. And now Declan goes in for that single leg. Don't stop here. He's got to keep moving. This is where you got to just keep moving. Now switches to a double. Gets his head inside. Now steps over that ankle. Got to pull his head out. Should be getting 2 here. Going to get 2 takedown for Declan. Declan seems like a kid that he would have a heck of a tight waist, man, from the top position.
He's a strong kid.
Yeah, he just looks like he could have a tight waist that would just make you want to puke your guts out. Durango kid, I love it when you got a nice cross collar under the chin and they try to get the ref to stop it because you're getting choked. That's when moms in the stand start yelling.
Yeah.
Declan switches to a head lever. Nice little rollout by Dugan. Or McKinney, excuse me. Nice follow through by Declan as well to stay on top. He's got that ankle hooked. Just got to keep pressuring that head lever. Now I'm going to slip in a chicken wing on this near side. Try to look for that far wrist. Keep that hand coming straight across. The official's going to stop it here now. Come out of that tripod and got that chicken wing in. Good officiating there. Stop that potentially dangerous. Declan quick on that chop and goes back in, gets that chicken wing back in. Now he's got him broken down. This is where you really got to work. You really got to try to get him to turn while he's broken down on his belly. Run out of time.
Yeah, coaches were trying to get him turned before we ran out of time, but he couldn't quite get it.
Scores 2-0 in the second period. Going to go Declan's choice. He's going to defer to the third period, so the Demon Wrestler is going to choose neutral. And I don't know, with that takedown the first, I may, go bottom or top here. I hate to choose top. As a coach, I hate to have my wrestler choose top unless you just know you can't get out from the bottom. And from what Declan showed in that first period, I don't know if I might. If it's my choice, I got to try something here. But obviously, McKinnon feels comfortable on his feet, so he chooses neutral. We go back to center of the mat. Declan does a good job of keeping his elbows in on his feet. That's the best thing you can do as a wrestler, is to have good head-and-hand defense from your feet. He's got that 2-on-1. Able to come out from that knee snatch. Declan needs to go shoot. There he goes. Nice shot, Declan. Now he needs to step over that ankle. Step over and come up with your head, swim the body. Got to get that leg stepping over. Gonna get that Demon has that bottom ankle. See if the ref stops it here for potentially dangerous as he twists that knee out. Declan doing a good job of just sitting on that. Not giving the ref the option to stop the match here. Declan needs to get his head out and he'll get his two. Just pull that head up. Get your head out and get your two here. 35 seconds left on the clock. Now he's got him on his hip. He's got control of the hips. He should get two. Getting some instructions here from Coach Musselman. He's got a nice leg Turk. Right here, you don't need to worry about the hips. You got that leg Turk in it as he lets it go, as I say that. And that's where you work your upper body right there. It's one of the most underutilized moves in all of high school wrestling, I think, as far as the wrestlers we see, is that leg Turk. We try to teach it every year. But just a good move to Turk that leg. Then you can work all upper body with your arms because you have control of his hips with your leg. You don't have to worry about tight waist and spiral rides and breaking them down because you've already got control. Go to the third period here. Declan up 4-0. Declan's going to choose top. Don't want to give two reversal and three near fall here on a roll. If anything, give him one, not two. But Declan being tough here on top. He's riding him good. He's going from move to move. He's able to break him down.
He's got a chicken wing.
Yep, and he's got that wrist. He's go forward with that stack. Right here at that chicken wing, go inside other far wrist and then work that around. Minute 30 left in the third period. Yeah, I'd like to see him switch to an inside wrist on that far left hand. Keep that chicken wing and then run it. Yeah, it's hard to run that when he's got that brace out there with that far arm.
Knee and arm out.
Yep. You like to see him grab that wrist and then run it. But he's going to get the stack over right here. Should get at least two. Oh, I saw a two swipe there. Now we're going to get 2 and 3.
Should get 3 points here. Near fall.
Yeah, there we go. Refs gets his 5. Declan needs to just come back up on top after 3 near fall. The score 7-0. 45 seconds left in the third. And now we're in a scramble. Person who keeps his head up, whoever's head's up higher in a scramble usually wins the scramble. Just needs to work around him here. Don't worry about your ankles. There you go. So Declan does not give up a reversal. He's able to maintain control, stay in the top position. 20 seconds left in the third period, leading 7-0.
Tried the stack again.
One more point for a major decision. Declan can get one more point here. He gets a major. It'd be 14 points. Declan's going to win at 7-0. Good match for Declan. Demon Wrestler was a heck of an opponent. Really fought hard there, and
Yeah, a little squirrely.
yeah, they both of them at times. Declan's able to win those scrambles. They were in a couple of scrambles, and Declan's able to come around and win it, even though it was a 50-50 kind of thing.
Yep.
Now we're going to Mike and Keith at 132 pounds against Keenan. I don't have a last name for the Durango wrestler. Mikan, his last match lost 8-4, so we'll see if he can come back this match. Quick takedown by the Durango wrestler. Looking in for a three-quarter, but Mikan able to recognize it and get his head up. Nice hook, and he's got to go to that hip. He's going to get it. Oh, unfortunately, comes just a little high, went to the head instead of the hip. But Mikan, man, he's a roller off the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, stepping over, and now he's got that, able to keep that arm trap back there in that hammer lock. Coach is telling him to thread it. He's going to take the inside wrist. Tight waist. Mikan leading 4-2. Minute left in the first period. Got a 2-on-1 with a ankle hook for Mikan as he's looking for that far wrist. Durango wrestler able to come to his feet. Mikan now locked around. Going to give up one here. Going to bring the score 3-4 in favor of Mikan. They put the score up there wrong for the wrong guy on the scoreboard. They say 2-5, but it should be 3-4. We're going to get stoppage now. Looks like maybe a poke to the eye, as we're going to get a warning. Little instruction from the official to Mikan. Restart on our feet, 17 seconds on the clock. Mikan with a nice takedown with only 10 seconds left. Nice way to go to work there. You got short time into the period. No better way to end that first period than getting a quick takedown.
Well, and he capitalized on a mistake there. I mean,
Sure.
The Durango kid made a mistake, and he was able to capitalize on it.
I don't know how they're keeping the score up there because they have the Panthers 4-5. So I'm hoping that our freshman over there keeping the book is doing a good job.
Let's hope.
Because their score on the scoreboard is a little funky. Mikan's on top starting the second period here. You should really just wear the Durango wrestler down this second period and try to get some back points and even a fall. There he goes, getting the right leg in, getting a little too high, a little out of position as the Durango wrestler able to stand up. Nice mat return. Mikan has going to a 2-on-1 now. Now he's got a leg in, trying to grab the head to return him. Checks with Coach Musselman for some instruction. Coming up on 1 minute. Puts in a half. That near side, that cradle is there. He's got that leg locked up and the head back. Oh, he's going to get 2 out of position here. Nice recovery by Mike, and wow, he was high, out of position, and was able just to come back. Like we've talked about in his last match and in this match, Mike is just really good at scrambling wrestling.
Keeps moving.
Because he puts himself in some positions that you're like, oh, don't get there. But he's able to work out of it. Now looking for a snapback, unable to get it. Coming up on 25 seconds left in the period. According to the score up on the scoreboard, we're winning 5-4, but I'm not sure if that's correct.
I think that's right. Because he got a takedown and 2 quick near fall points right off the get-go. And so I think he went up.
They just gave it late.
Yeah, and I think Miken's come back now, got a reversal, got it. I don't remember where he got all his reversal and back points, I believe.
Yeah. Nice snapback here as we had to restart because Miken was warned for stalling. Hold on. We're wrestling Durango here, so we probably are the home team. And yet we are. So my mistake. I will apologize to the scoreboard operator. I forget that we're wrestling Durango at Montezuma Cortez. So on the scoreboard, the Broncos are the home team, and the Demons are the visitors. So the score is 6-5 in favor of Miken, who's on bottom. Oh, almost had a full Nelson there. Oh, yep, there we go. Too quick on the switch off. We're going to get a full Nelson on the Durango wrestler. Going to give technical violation 1 point to Miken, so that brings the score 7-5 with 1:50 left. Sometimes those kids get a little too fast on switching from half to half, and good awareness there by the official to watch it and catch that illegal hold.
Nice. Oh, yeah, he got it.
Still got to clear his head. Durango kid's got a nice headlock. Good scramble by Mike and able to come out. Get that 2 reversal, brings the score 9-5 with 1:30 left in the third period. Now Mike in here just needs to be, you don't want to stop wrestling, you don't want to stop being aggressive, but you also got to be a little bit cautious and not try to do these flamboyant, no flying squirrel type moves. You got to just really be patient here and
got to wrestle smart at this point.
You've already been warned for stalling once, so you got to keep wrestling. You got to keep working inside ties. Got to keep moving off his hips left to right, but you don't want to give up a big 5-point roll here to the Durango Demon. You're only up 9-5, so if you get in a bad spot, this is where you hope your wrestler bail out. Oh, right here, Granby roll. Got a Peterson, but Mike able to stay out of it and stay in the top position. Right here, coming up on 30 seconds. Give up the 2, but not the 3. So now it's going to bring the score to 7-9. So Miken's really got to not let, if he gets turned for a 2 count, it's going to tie it up. Durango wrestler, short time here, 15 seconds in the third. Miken builds a base. Oh, nice little roll through there by Durango. But Miken able to come back with his hips. Or if he can get back up this. Neutral. Yep, he's in danger and going to get 2 near fall. I don't know.
Tied up. Oh, they did.
They're going to get 2 near fall, so it's going to be 9-9. So we're going 1 minute sudden victory as Coach
Simpson's got. They're wondering about loss of control.
Yeah, So we're going to go 1 minute sudden victory. So for those of you that are new to wrestling or haven't been around for a while, 1 minute first takedown wins here. Quick shot by Durango. Nice fight off by Mike. And Miken's got to pull that arm through. And he's going to get his 2. He's going to get his 2-point sudden victory win as Miken.
That was great.
Gets the win 11-9 in sudden victory. So that'll be another 3 team points for the Broncos. which will tie the team score 6-6 currently. Yeah, great match for Mike, and way to come out of that.
That was a battle.
Both wrestlers, wrestling hard, right at the end, getting turned, but only getting up 2, and then able to come off after the 2 count. If he's there for another 2 seconds, 3 seconds, he's going to get 3 near fall, and he's able to come up on top. He doesn't get the reversal, but he gives himself a chance to get into sudden victory, and like he does, gets the takedown. So we move on now to your next match. This is going to be 138. This is Lennox Ben versus Roley Belt, I believe.
It's Riley.
Is it Riley?
Yeah, Riley Belt.
I'm going to have to get a spelling dictionary from Coach Simpson so I can read his writing. Lennox, sophomore? Junior?
He's a senior.
Senior.
Yeah, he's one of our seniors.
The senior this year.
And I really think he's improved a ton from last year to this year. I've been impressed with the growth Lennox has made.
2 takedown for Durango. So we're going to go out of bounds, reset to the center. So your team score again 6-6 here. Tied up. So every match, every point's going to count in this Durango. They've got some tough wrestlers, so they are going to have a couple of forfeits here. And then San Juan will have 1. So you like to see your wrestlers score as many points as they can, get those majors and even those pins so they can get the 5 or 6 team points. I don't know how many people actually pay attention to those team points or care about it, but to me, that's one of the greatest things about wrestling is the individuality of it all. But it comes down to your individual effort to help your team secure the dual victory or a state placing. Just so the way you perform out there, even though you're out there by yourself, really dictates where your team ends up.
And you see the boys, they're helping each other, cheering each other, trying to get that team points, team victory.
Lennox in a bad spot here. Durango wrestler had a wrist and a half, and he was really working that half, and Lennox able to stay on his base, and now goes with that thread through and able to hammer lock that arm bar over.
He tried to roll through there, didn't quite get it.
But he's still coming back into that. Durango wrestler really physical on top, but Lennox able to fight off his back. Gives up 3 near fall, but comes up to get to the second period. Durango up 5-0. But a good job there by Lennox. He was in some tight stuff there with that wrist and that half, and then coming for that hammer lock drive with that headlock, and then able to just come off his back and not give up more than just the near fall. A lot of wrestlers in that position would have just given up and got pinned. So one thing I've noticed about a lot of these San Juan wrestlers is they've got a lot of dog in them. They will fight out of some tough stuff, and I've noticed even the junior high kids. They've got some tough that mentality. That I'm going to go out and you may beat me, but I don't want you to pin me, and that's what you got to have because a lot of pins happen in high school wrestling nowadays. A lot more happen nowadays than I think happened when I was a kid. And you just got to have that mentality as a team, as an individual that I may lose, but I'm not going to get pinned.
Well, Lennox is in a bad spot again.
Yeah, this Durango kid's really good on top with his forward pressure. Lennox doing a good job of bridging and fighting because that's not easy right there with both your arms trapped behind your back. And we've got to watch. This official's got to watch this for potentially dangerous with his shoulders. Nice high bridge, clear up on the top of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Lennox is tough.
Now, this is hard. We've got a minute left. It's hard to. If you're down to 15 seconds, you might fight this the whole time. But, man, he's been in this for a minute 20. Still able to come out of it. Wow. Gives up the 3 near fall, brings the score 10-0. So now if you're Lennox, you don't want to give up the fall, but you also got to be weary of the tech fall. Yeah, the one thing I'd like to see Lennox do better is keep his elbows in on the bottom. And that's the whole reason why the Durango wrestler's able to get those chicken wings in that wrist is he's just too wide with his elbows on the bottom. He's got to learn how to keep those elbows in. not give those up. Able to fight off it again as he comes. Oh, good job of the Durango wrestler to come back and trap that far arm. It's hard to fight this long off your back. 10 seconds on the clock.
He's getting tired.
This is where you got a short time and just gut it out here. 5 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds. And we're going to get a fall with 1.2 seconds left on the clock.
Almost made it.
But he fought, man. That's 2 minutes almost of fight time off your back. That's good job by Lennox. Just a bad place to be in right there. Now we'll go back to 144, Kai Fox versus Michael Hoffman for Durango. Really like to see Kai here come out here and if he wrestled just like he did that first match and get a win here for his team and for himself. He don't know if he wants to head throw or grab that single leg. Durango able to roll him through and get the 2 takedown. Kai's able to come back to his base. Gives up 2 near fall as well. Hand control on the bottom if you're Kai. Unlock your hands. Open those fingers up and let them work. Inside that leg. Don't reach back for that head. Oh, we're going to come out of bounds, so Kai's go back down. I really liked how he had that leg. If he just got inside with that close arm instead of reaching back for that head, I think he may be able to get his hips turned and come out on that. But unfortunately, he's going to go back to the bottom.
He came up quick. That was good of him because he was down. I liked that he came up so quick. It surprised this Durango wrestler.
Oh,
there again.
Almost a locking hands. Kai's up quick, gets one, escapes, able to get his hip separation. 4-1. Nice double leg. Finish out with your head side. There you go. Step over now. Step over those legs. Climb the body. Step over the legs. Just the little things as a young wrestler you just don't know. And as he learns those things, man, he's going to be so good. Able to get 2. Now work inside here. Scores 4-3 in favor of the Durango wrestler. Coming up on 40 seconds left in the first period. He's listening well to his coaches, too.
Yes.
Get your hips up, Kai. Use your toes
drive
and push.
Drive.
There you go. Coming up on 25 seconds. Not a lot of time here. He's really got to push with his chest, drive with his toes. He's got 20 seconds here. Coach is yelling instructions. He's going to get the pin. 15 seconds left on the clock. Kai's going to get the fall at 144 pounds.
And I think they don't have the score right on the board again. I think it should be.
Yeah, it's 12-12.
Is it 12-12?
Yep. So they've got 2 falls. We've got 2 decisions and a fall. So,
okay.
Yep. 12-12. Now we're going to see Wrigley Lagilia wrestle at 150. Didn't have a match in the last duel. He's going to wrestle Paul Pantiri, maybe? So we'll see how Wrigley comes out here and performs.
Yeah, we're missing Logan today. Home healing. Wrigley's done a good job of wrestling in that second spot at 150. And has been working hard and pushing some of these guys. He's in trouble now, though.
Yeah, that Durango kid has a nice cradle on. But Wrigley's doing a lot of moving in there, trying to make the official get to a different angle. You just sometimes, and it's hard to recognize that when you're on your back fighting for your life there. But you want to rock and roll, so that ref has to move side to side so he can't get a good vision of where you're at. But good way to fight off it. And Durango comes right back, and he don't want him to underhook that leg right there. Oh, get off the. Oh. Wrigley does a great job fighting right there, and he can just stop it. And Wrigley now looking for a cradle of his own. So we're going to get near fall, but we've got to get that break of that cradle to get our reversal here. Coming up on 45 seconds.
He's got time.
Got to get that. Don't let it. Keep your hips back. Keep pushing on your toe. Just stay there and wear him out. There we go, as Wrigley's able to break the lock. Now get 2. Now he just needs to stay behind him. Don't let him get out in front. Right here, switches to a cowboy. The Durango kid almost sets up through it. Wrigley's got to fight his hips back. 20 seconds. Keep pressure up top for your Wrigley. You don't want to let him go here. You want to keep nice upper body pressure. Keep your hips tight to him. And just work him out here for the last 7 seconds. If you're Wrigley, you just want to ride out here, 4 seconds left. Should have some. You already give the near fall on that? Must have. So it's 4-8. Wrigley's down 4-8. So we go to the second period. Wrigley's going to get a choice. Looking at his coaches, he's going to defer the choice. Durango's coach is telling their wrestler they want him to go down. If you're Wrigley right here, you got to stop that first move. You got to really be, you don't want hip separation here. You got a tight waist. You got a far collar. Good switch on the sides and able to get that leg in. He's a little high here. You get both legs in, you're okay. Stretch him out. Get those legs stretched out, and you're okay here, Wrigley. Oh, come on, keep the legs in. Oh, he let the leg go. Yeah, those leg riders, they all get high. They make you nervous. But as long as they keep those legs hooked in, they're usually able to work their way out of it. Unfortunately, Wrigley's legs come popping out, and then Durango wrestler able to put him on his back. Wrigley doing a good job fighting here, too. He's in a tight neck wrench. Durango wrestler trying to put the legs in. 1:10 left in the period. That's a long time to fight off your back. Yeah. And the Durango wrestler's going to get the fall. So a good match for Wrigley overall. He fought really hard, did a lot of good things. Little out of position when he got up on top, put those legs in, and I'm sure he's got a little loss of blood flow to his head there because he was in a tight neck wrench and then switched to a nice tight reverse half. So good match overall. I know you hate to lose, but man, he fought out stuff and was put himself in a good position there. Just got a little high in that start of the second period. Brings us to our 157-pound matchup between Jacob Belt and Parker Snyder for the Broncos as we wait for the scoreboard operator to reset the clock. Team score, the moment, Durango 18, San Juan 12. As the ref sees something on the mat he doesn't like. Now we go to action here at 157 pounds. Parker with a lateral drop. And we're going to go out of bounds. 2 takedown and 3 near fall. You know, that was he lateral dropped him. It wasn't a very tight lateral drop. It was a little loose. So he's lucky he's just the athleticism of Parker. He's able to get it to work. But yeah, you'd like to see that lateral drop a little tighter before he gets into that throw. And this is where conditioning comes in these tri-meets. Is Parker just wrestled a heck of a match that first duel against Cortez, and now comes out here and just got to motor through this and keep going. Nice little tilt. Gonna get secured 2 near falls. If you're Parker, you want to break that hold. There he goes. He's broke the hold, so he needs to. This is where the official. There he goes. Word's that. Comes up to a chicken wing and a half. Score 7-0. Parker's got that tight in there.
Good.
Got to work. I'd like to see him work his hips back over his head a little bit. There he goes, just like that. Now push his head with your knee a little bit, Parker. There you go. Man, it's like I'm in his head out there.
He can hear you.
Yeah, I bet. He's going to get the fall. Good job. As Parker's going to get 6 for the team, which brings them back tied 18-18 in the team duel. It's going to be a tight one, I think.
Yeah,
we're going to take a forfeit here, and then we're going to give a forfeit and take another one. So it may come down to those 3 matches. If we can stay out of some falls and pick up a couple of falls, then this could be this we're talking about earlier. The difference between in a dual meet, it's all individual here, wrestling on that mat. But man, your match might come down to whether the team gets that dual meet win or not. So JD's going to get a forfeit here.
That's why it always helps to have a full roster plus, a JV full roster. So you got 2 deep everywhere, at least 2 deep everywhere. When you get in situations like this where we got some sick kids and a couple injured kids, it's big time.
Yeah, so the scoreboard now, the team scored 24-18 for San Juan as we go to 175-pound Trace Bennett versus Braxton Waddle. So yeah, these next few matches are really key to if San Juan comes out of this with a dual meet win. And Trace able to go to Cowboy, but the Durango kid able to work out of it and still in a scramble. He's awarded 2 and 2 here. So both wrestlers awarded a takedown and a reversal. The Durango wrestler still on top as we go out of bounds. Wow, that was a fire scramble right there, wasn't it, Coach?
I don't know what's loose on his headgear, but
looks like his over-the-top strap is broke.
Okay.
That keeps his back and front tied together. Well, Trace is on bottom here. Still early in this match, only 30 seconds gone by. Tied up 2-2. Both these kids have motors, it would appear.
Man, Trace does not hold still. He just moves and moves.
Yeah, quite the scramble there to start off the match. Trace able to create hip separation, get that little sit out, and get the score as escape period. Brings score 3-2, 1 minute left in the first period. Sometimes you see these wrestlers that come out and they're like on fire and they just go, and then they really slow down. But Trace right there, coming out, nice tie up, nice little ankle pick, gets the 2 takedown. But you don't want to slow down if you're Trace here. You want to just keep that energy high.
Yep. Wow. Got a little high.
Durango slips out of it, and Trace got to get that cross face here. Looking for a cradle. Once he locks that cradle up, 2 reversal for Trace.
Turned him. He's got to get his knee.
Keep that grip tight. Ref's got to get up here on this top side. Keep that cradle. Get your hips over on this side. There you go. Now head up. Durango able to slip out of the cradle, but not before 2 near fall. So the score 9-4 in favor of Trace. Another huge scramble. Holy cow.
Yeah.
And we're down to 8 seconds left in the first period.
These 2 are going.
Yeah. They're pretty evenly matched from what I can see as far as scramble ability here. And right there, Durango just runs out of time as he's able to get hip separation and come around in front. But Trace able to keep that front headlock and not give up the 1 here as we go to the second period. Trace will defer. Durango wrestler's going to go bottom. And if you're Trace, you've already seen that this kid he gets good hip separation off the bottom.
Yeah.
He's good at scrambling. He's good at getting you in front of him. So you really got to just work to stay behind. He's got his laces down. He looks like he's going to sit out here. One of those indicators, if you're the top wrestler, you got to look at where those guys' feet are. Right now, I'm looking. He's got his left foot underneath him, right foot on both laces down. To me, that indicates all points to a sit out, little short sit here. He looks for a little Peterson roll. He's able to come around and get that bottom leg. Trace needs to keep that power half on and not give it up here. He's not in a great spot, but he needs to keep that power half. Oh, and a nice roll through by the Durango wrestler. Going to get 2 points. Scores 9-6 as we start the second period. 30 seconds in. This is where that top position riding, where just learning how to ride a guy and grind out your match from the top position really pays off. Both these wrestlers both kind of getting out of position at times and able to give their opponent that reversal, that escape. Sometimes you can do too much from the top. Trace can lock up that cradle right here, keep his feet in bound. That's 2. Or he's going to go off the mat. That should be
2.
No, he's going to give 1 loss control, but he locks that cradle up. That's a 2 reversal. That's textbook reversal right there at any level.
And coach wants to talk to him about it.
Yeah, I mean, you lock up that's a pinning combination. That's a reversal. Yeah, it should have been 2 points there versus 1. So we'll see if Coach Simpson can come. And I've learned in 25 years of following coaching wrestling that very rarely do you talk an official out of his
You're not
opinion.
going to change it. No.
So the score is going to be 10-6 in favor of Trace, and we'll be on our feet.
Not a dull moment on this match.
No, this is like watching 2 bulls turned out in the pasture just going at it. Trace able to get a nice underhook there. Oh, got to get hits back. He didn't get that other arm enough, so he's not back far enough. He's going to get near fall, and then we got a reversal. So he must have gave him a takedown and the near fall. So he gave him 4 and then a reversal here. 14-8 in favor of Trace with 25 seconds on the clock, ticking down. If I'm Trace right here, I just can kind of conserve my energy. Short time, try to get 1 here. Peek at that clock. Try to get an escape, a quick stand up. Don't go to your back and give up near fall. There's a 2 swipe and a 3 swipe. You're 5 seconds if you're Trace. This is where you just got to gut it out. You're 2 seconds. Time's up. Time was up. He's shaking his head. I think time was up before the fall. The official needs to check with the time clock. Time was up. Yeah, he should. And if this is textbook officiating, where this is obviously this official.
The time clock guy is saying no.
Yeah. I'm watching the clock too. This is anytime you're officiating a match at any level and you get a simultaneous slap of the mat and the clock goes off, you never call the match. You always go check with your clock operator. That guy actually has the decision over you. Was the clock out before I slapped the mat? If he says it was out, then there's no pin.
Yep.
And this official,
he may overrule that.
But yeah, I saw the same thing. The clock operator was shaking his head no, and I saw the clock went to 0 before he slapped the mat.
It was buzzing before he went for the pin, so it should. Hopefully he'll.
He's not going to. I can tell by his mannerism. Yeah, this is. I gave this official kudos most of the night, and now he goes and burns me. Yeah, I don't agree with this call, and I don't agree with him not checking with the clock operator before he raised the opponent's hand. So we'll see if Coach Simpson, I don't think he's going to get his place keyed, his point pleaded here with the official. I think he's already made up his mind that he was right, or he would have checked with the clock operator after all. So it looks like he is going to give the fall to the Durango wrestler. So we go to 190, and San Juan's going to give up a forfeit here to Vickers from Durango, which will put them ahead in the team race by 6 points now.
Yeah, this is
going
to be
30.
Close.
Yeah, it's going to be 31 to, and then Jared will pick up, so it'll be tied again. So it's going to come down to the heavyweight match.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we talked about that earlier. This is where every match counts. So Jared's going to pick up 6.
Looks like, or is this their 190?
This is their 190, JJ.
Okay.
So he'll pick up a forfeit.
Yep. It's going to come down to the heavyweights.
So we're going to end up a forfeit here for Durango at 190, and then a forfeit for San Juan at 215. Jared Burke will collect the forfeit. So here it comes. All the marbles come down to this in this Durango-San Juan duel. Comes down to the heavyweight action. 30-30 is your team score. We're going to your. No, we still have 2 more matches. Chad Yellow hasn't wrestled. I wonder if they're wrestling that one. So
it might be
we
exhibition.
may have. We'll see what happens on that one. So it may be if they wrestle that one exhibition and San Juan has to take a forfeit, that they'll win by 6 points forfeit.
It'll actually have a tie.
So it might be. Oh, that's right. Yep. If we can get a fall here by Taylor. Yummy in on the shot. Able to work up the hips and secure 2 takedown. Yeah, so then it goes down to criteria. If it's tied, and it's going to come down to pinpoints. It's hard to see these heavyweights when they get turned away from you, but it looks like he's got an inside wrist. He's able to bring that back to a hammer lock. The official really watching the shoulder there.
Trying to thread it, I think.
And he's got to work around his head to thread it, though. Got to come around this right side, work around his head. I think he's just trying to post that arm up.
No, you're right. It's hard to tell.
Oh, yeah, you can't see nothing. We're going to get the fall. Taylor goes out and gets a quick fall. So now for the moment, San Juan will be leading in the duel 36-30 as heavyweight Taylor Black gets a fall over the Demon Wrestler.
Oh, that's it.
So.
Oh, no.
He's got to go collect the forfeit.
No, they're.
Yeah, this is going to be an exhibition match, I believe. As we mentioned before, if you just joined us or joined us late after the first duel, Chad unable to make weight today at 113. Wrestled in the All-Star duels last night, and it's hard when you wrestle back-to-back nights making weight, especially with travel and probably ate out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might even fed him at the All-Star duels. I think that they used to do that in the past. They'd feed him a dinner, which is probably torture to feed wrestlers dinner. Yeah, because wrestlers usually, especially lighter weights that are cutting, don't usually eat a lot.
Yeah, they're always worried about making.
So they have given the forfeit points. So this is just an exhibition match. So the team score is tied up 36-36. Chad with the leg scissors in. Got a half in. Now he's trying to stretch the arm out. Ref watching the elbow, keeping everything safe in there as he gets right in our camera angle. Chad's trying to stretch the arm out. And just take that head.
Yep.
Come across, take his chin. Slips out of the scissors.
But he's got legs in.
I don't know if I'd like to wrestle Chad after he got beat in a match,
Yeah, he probably comes out a little mad.
He's wrestled good today. Just wish he would have made weight, I guess.
Yep.
Again with the legs. Going to get a potentially dangerous. Now we're not going to potentially dangerous. Or did he give a? Nope. He gave potentially dangerous. I thought maybe he was going to give an illegal. I thought I saw Chad say it's not illegal.
He's talking to Coach Simpson.
All right. Chad's just a physically dominant wrestler on top. And sometimes you get on top and you start just dominating and going through some things and trying different angles on moves and working the opponent's body. And sometimes it looks worse than it is. But it's good to stop matches for things that you think might be potentially dangerous. You definitely don't want to get a kid hurt.
Yeah, you don't want anyone to get hurt out here.
Chad, I think, gets I think he gets more of those called on him than most other kids on the team, and I think he kind of thinks, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong here. You just got to settle down. Think, okay, I'll just go back to work.
Yep.
Durango kid doing a good job. He's down 11-0, but fought off his back and some tight leg moves. He's going to take neutral. Chad 4 points away from a tech fall here. I would say it's probably safe to say he's going to get that in this quarter. He puts up 11 points in the first period, sorry. Go back to my football broadcasting.
Yeah.
Going to get a takedown. Nice little snap through the legs, and we're going to get 3 here. So it's going to be
it right there.
Yeah, he's got his shoulder way up. He's going to come up on top and get a tech fall here. So he'll end that with a tech fall. We're going to get 1 point red for an illegal hold.
Oh, so it's not going to be a tech fall.
It will be 16-1, so it'll be a tech fall.
Okay.
So Chad comes out in his exhibition match and gets a tech fall, 16-1, but his opponent will get the team points, and we're going to end 36-36 as both teams forfeit at 106. So San Juan comes over here to Montezuma Cortez, duels Cortez to a 54-21 win, and then duels Durango to a 36-36 tie. Which a lot of good things out of some wrestlers. Anything you want to say, Coach Bayless?
No, I like
impressions.
I like how we showed up today. There's a couple that could have gone either way, and unfortunately, a couple of them didn't go our way in that last duel against Durango, or we would have come out with the victory there. But overall, hard wrestling tonight. It was a fun night. Night of wrestling.
Yeah, I'm with you. There were some great matches in both duels. Good scrambling, good action. I think, the match of the night that I'd like to see continue on with Traces, I definitely don't think he was pinned there at the end of that second period, but the only guy that matters is the guy with the stripes on his shirt.
Yeah.
So us guys that sit over here, we don't have an opinion on it, I guess. But a great duel, both duels for San Juan. Good momentum going into North Sevier.
Yep.
Friday and Saturday again. San Juan wrestlers will be at North Sevier in Salina, Utah, Friday and Saturday. Friday start time 2:30 p.m., Saturday 9 a.m. Again, I'd like to give a huge thanks to our sponsors, San Juan School District, San Juan Counseling, Hello Beautiful Salon, Flights Gymnastics, and Canyonlands Tire. We appreciate you joining us tonight for this wrestling action. We'll be back live on StreamUtah.Live on January 17th from Monticello, Utah, as San Juan goes to the Monticello Tri. Usually they have 4 teams there. They call it the Quad Wrangler. So if you can't come in person to Monticello and support the Broncos, which would encourage you to do, it'd be nice to pack the house with Bronco fans and just come and cheer for the San Juan Broncos. If you can't join us live, we will start our broadcast at 7 o'clock. If there is a time change, we will post that on all of our social media sites. But on behalf of Lane Palmer, Anthony Bayless, I'm Art Adair, wishing you a good night.